So as I was saying, we have all these option sets that we've created now called days of the week. So we want to now use our option set in the most basic of ways, which is inside um, which is inside the drop down. Right now we had to input all of this statically, but now we're going to change it to dynamic choices this time around. Then we're going to go to type of choices, right? This place I had something in my data now. We had user, bookings, customer, whatever. But now we're going to use days of the week. You see that it has shown in our database now. The option set shows just like your data. So we have days of the week now. Yeah, it's being recorded. It's being recorded. Hopefully everything turns out fine. So we have choice source. So in option sets, the different thing about option set that is different from data when you're working with data types is that when it's data types, here now you're going to say do a search for or whatever. Maybe do a search for days of the week. But in option set, you use all because it's a list, right? So in option set, you're going to use all days of the week instead of do a search for days of the week. Days of the week, we're going to say all days of the week. So anything that consists of option sets, we use all when we are getting it inside a repeating group or as a choice source of a data of a field. So that's the difference between using option sets and data fields inside a group or whatever. So here now, option caption. What this means now is that what do you want inside this your repeating group? We have said, okay, we want all the days of the week, but all days of the week, what is it? Is it a text? Because when you go to your option set, you see that we have display text. This is a built-in attribute that comes with Bubble. The text attribute comes with every option set. Does the text attribute mean? That means these letters here, these are the text attributes, right? So these letters here, they are called the display. So if you want to reference the text of this option set now, it's called the display for option set. So the text is called the display. You can create a new attribute. You can say this attribute is day number, right? And we can say we want this as a number. So you can modify this one now. You see the display is Monday. That's the text. You can say the day number should be 1 or 2 or whatever. So it can be whatever. It can be an image. It can be a file. It can be a lot of things. You have it here. It can be all these things here. But right now we're going to be referencing the text because we're working with our drop down here. So it says option caption is current option what? Right? Current options, what are we going to use? We're going to use display here because we want the texts to show as a list inside our drop down. So that's what we want. We want the text to show as a list inside our drop downs. So that is it. So now this drop down now, if I preview this drop down now, I'll have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because these are all the items that I have in my option set. I hope you guys understand. Does anybody have any question to where we are now? If you have a question, please signify.
I have a question, but it's on the attribute side. I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
if we've gotten there yet.
Yeah, we're still going to talk more on the attributes. I'm just explaining what that means. So
Okay.
we're going to go to the attribute now. So everybody understands to where I am, right? So let's
Yeah.
continue.
The thing is,
Okay, please
what's the
continue.
real difference between this option set now with the drop down menu itself?
I don't understand. Okay, for the drop down menu, okay, I think you were not here when we started. So the drop down menu, it has a static choice and a dynamic choice. If I go back to static choice now, you see that I can enter it one by one. I can say Monday, I can enter Monday here. I can then Tuesday, that would be what will be inside my drop down. But this time around, we are using a dynamic choice. Shall you get? So because we're using a dynamic choice, we say type of choice is days of the week. Choice source is all days of the week. Then option caption is current options. We want the text to show. That means current option display. That's what we want.
Okay, so if I get you clearly, that
Okay.
means option set is usually used for dynamic data.
Yeah, option set is it's a dynamic data in a way because it's something that's been stored already. It's not something that you write on the spot. You've stored it already. You understand? But it's
All right.
static. It's not going to change. You can't add anything else to it from your front end. Do you understand?
Okay.
You can't add to
Okay.
it. It's just something that is there. Maybe you say, okay, oh, I want all days of the week here. You know, the days of the week are not going to change, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You have it. You use it for your data that you know that it's not going to change. So you can use it for
Okay.
like maybe you have an e-commerce store now. Then you can use it for like item categories. So you can say
Okay.
phones, laptops, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So you use option set for that
Okay.
because it's not going to change. It's
Okay.
static, but it's a dynamic
Okay.
choice because it's stored in the database. So that is
Okay.
option set. So now let's go to the attributes of option set. So now
All
option
right.
set
Thank you.
has, yeah, you're welcome. Option set has they have different types of attributes. Like I mentioned, you can give them an attribute of number. We can say day image now, right? We can give it an attribute of image, right? We can give every option set an image. We can say this Monday now. You see now it has three attributes now. It has Monday, the day, that's the text, the display is Monday, right? The day, the day image now, we can now upload an image. So we can say we want an image here. Maybe we want this image as the day image. So then day number, you can have this here. So option set can have different types of attributes. But when you add a new attribute, you will need to modify the attributes here because everything just comes with the built-in attribute, which is text. So for Tuesday, maybe we're going to give it 2, right? We're going to give that one has another image. We're not going to be bothering about the image much. So this one has 3, right? This one has 4. Then this one has 5. So you see now that we have created new attributes for our option set. Look at the attributes here. We have a day image attribute, which is an image. We have a day number attribute, which is a number. We have the display attribute, which is the text. So I believe we all understand attributes now. If you have any question about attributes, let me know now before we move forward. We are going to the interesting part now. Does anybody have a question?
Yeah, what does that all entry in attributes mean?
So what do you mean? Please go again.
Please, can you go back to where you are, like the
Yeah.
attribute side? There's an all entry something under attributes.
All entry. Okay.
And you have to click.
Yeah. This is a modify attribute, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Like when you first went to attributes,
yeah,
there was something down that showed all entries.
Okay. So if I create a new attribute, I can make it a list of something. So you get it's just like data. It can be a list of something. You understand? It can be a list of images. For example, I want my day image to be like 5 images. You understand?
So you get to choose from.
Yeah, you can now get to choose from the list of the images that you want. For example, if you have an e-commerce store, right? You know that when you go to a particular item, you see the big like image for that item. Then you see other images at the bottom that have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that you can change, and that one will be the bigger one. So you get. So it's just like that. It's just like you have more attributes. You have a list of attributes here. So you can say image now, and you're telling me that this image that I picked for you is a list now. You're getting it. It's just like data. Data too can have list. Option set too can have list. So that's just what's up about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can, like, when if you are working on a project now,
Yeah.
can you use data and option sets on the
Together.
same project?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course. We're going to do that. That's what.
And you can decide to use any of them.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Like
I'll show you how. I'll show you how now.
okay.
I'll show you how now.
Thank
So now, so we're done with the option set and the attributes. So we're going to the interesting part now. Please, can you mute your mic? Please, can everybody mute down? There's a static noise I'm hearing. Okay, thank you. So now we're going to go to data, right? So I had one data here now. So you see that I have data here. I said, let me just delete this so that we can start from beginning. So let me do a data type now of booking, right?
Sorry, I mean, I think some people want to get in.
Oh, I'm not seeing anybody else here. The link is on the Discord now. I posted the link on Discord, right? And anybody that wants to get in should be able to get that from the link. Let me see. Let me paste the link back to the person. So I posted the link again now. So hopefully you should be able to join from there. So let's continue. So what we now want to do now is that we want to nest option sets into our data, right? So we're going to do bookings now, right? So we're going to do so this one will be a normal one. We say booking name, right? Then this will be text. Just going to be having two inside our data. Then we'll now say booking day. Remember that we had an option set with all the days of the weeks, right? Now we can now say, okay, booking day now is going to be, you see here, it's even showing here, all the things in your data and your option set can show here. That means you know that you can nest data and you can nest option sets. So booking day now is going to be days of the week. I'll now create that. So I don't even need to say I want it to be a list or whatever. And if you make it an option set, you see that there's a drop down here. You know, in default now I can write the text here or whatever, but in default for this booking day now, you see that there's a drop down that has all the days of the week here now. As you can see, they are in alphabetical order here. So we have all the days of the week here already. So we've been able to nest an option set now into a data field. Does everybody understand how I do that? If you don't understand, please let us know.
No, I don't. Not really, please.
Let's do that again. So you understand to where I created a booking data, right?
No, go back.
I'm not doing anything extraordinary here. I'm just creating a new data type.
Okay.
Right? I created a new data type of booking, right? This is booking. Then I'm creating a new field now inside booking. I'm going to call this, right, booking name. This is booking name. This is a text, right? Normal. This is the normal way that we've been doing our data. Then we now want to do booking day, right? So booking day now, you know that if you remember our option sets, we said our option set is days of the week, right? We had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Inside that option set. And since we've already studied that, we don't need to say like this is a list of, normally we'll say this is a text, but a list of text. Then we'll now be adding Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or whatever inside. But that's not what we want. What we want now is because we have that stored already, we can now say field type now We can now say days of the week. So we are using days of the week as field type. Do you get it now? That's just what we're doing. I will show you. I will show you in your repeating group now. So we're using days of the week now as a field type. We're using an option set as a field type for a data because we've already stored our list inside the option set. So that means booking day now is either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because it will now contain what is inside this option set. So if we create, you can see now, we see default here, we see that there is a list here now that shows all the days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now if we now say we want a repeating group, now let's say we have a repeating group. Where's a repeating group? We now have a repeating group here, right? So this repeating group now, we give it booking, Abby. Then data source is do a search for bookings, normal, the way we've been doing it before. Then now I want to have the booking name now and a particular option set, and I want to have option set here, like the first booking day should have the first option set, the first, if you get what I mean. So I will now go to text. Inside text here now, I'll have this. This one now is current sales bookings booking name, right? Normal. Then let me just duplicate this. Then I'll say this one should now be, instead of booking name now, I'll delete this. I'll say this now should be current sales booking day, right? Now when you click booking day, you will see that all our attributes for that option set is now showing here. It's now asking you, what do you want for this booking day? Is it the display, which is the text? Is it the day number, which is a number? Is it the day's image, which is an image? But now we just want the display, that is the day, right? So we now say we want day display because we just want the day. Now let's go ahead to add data to the booking name so that we can have something that will show. So let me just go and add data to booking days, to booking name. So I'll choose this. Let's say this is booking name. Let's say this is haircuts, right? Haircuts, right? And we can choose whatever option set we want here, right? We can choose that. So this one now is like someone has filled all these things, right? For example, you have a page called booking, and you want people to fill their booking, the booking name and the booking day. So that's just what I'm doing. I'm just giving my data I'm just giving my database some data. So another entry, we have another booking name. You can say this one is manicure. I want a booking day of Thursday there. So if we now go here now inside our repeating group, if we preview this our repeating group now, you see it's going to show us everything that we have in our database. That means haircut is Friday, manicure is Thursday. I hope you guys get it now. If you have any question, please if you have any question, please let us know because we're moving forward. Does anybody have any question about that? Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
So I believe everybody understands how I did that. So we
Yes.
just nested our option set inside a repeating group now. But this is not even okay. Justice said, could you go over it again? From where? Where, please, Justice? Um, the next thing. So what we did was just we went to data, right? We're in data. In our data type, we had bookings. Inside bookings now, we created booking name, which is a text, right? Then we now created booking days, right? And we now give it a, because we've created, were you here when, I hope you were here when we created our option set for days of the week. We created an option set that had days of the week, that had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So now, instead of giving this field type a text, and you and the user now, maybe your customer will now have to input maybe Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. We don't want that. We want a field, because we know that Monday will be Monday, Tuesday, the days of the week will always be Monday, Sunday to Friday or whatever. So they're just going to be like that. So that's why we have days of the week here, and we have that list already. So we're now referencing this list here. So that's what we did. We now created that list, and that list is now showing us all these ones now. So now, if a user wants to book you now, they can now say, okay, oh, I want to book this person. Then you will now have a drop down for them, that's which day do you want to book. They will now say, I want to book. Inside that drop down, this is what will now be there. They will now choose, maybe it's Friday, maybe it's Monday, maybe it's Thursday. If they now choose it now, we can now go to our repeating group now. So here now, this was deleted, so we'll just do this again. So because we have nested that in, we now say it's current sales booking. Because we've put that in now, you see that we can see booking days already inside here. You see, we also say booking days. Then we now have, what do we want? Because our option set has different attributes. We have day image, we have day number, and we have display. Display is the text. Day image was an image. Day number is a number. So we want to have the um, the day display here. So if we now go here now, you see that we have from what we input in our data, so we are running as like a customer now. So this is not showing up, okay, because inside our data, we deleted that. So we have to input it again. Booking days now, we'll now choose Friday for this one. Then this one, we'll now choose maybe Thursday for this one. So if we go back to our repeating group, you see that it has been updated now. So it will show the days. So these are the simplest. I think we just finished the simplest ways to actually use an option set. Now we're going to go to the more interesting ways to use our option sets. I hope you guys understand. I hope everybody understands that.
Yes, everybody. Thank
Yes,
you.
I
Yes.
understand.
Yes.
All right. So let's move now to more interesting ways to use option sets. So we're going to delete this. Now let's create another option set, so that I want us to be using new data to start doing new stuff. So we're going to create another option set now. We're going to have new option sets now. We're going to call this dashboard menus, right? So we create this, and then we have we're going to create an option. For example, we are simulating a dashboard now. So we're saying the first one might be activities, right? The second one is going to be profile, right? The third one is going to be settings, and let's say the fifth one will be like logout. So that's what we have right now. So let's just do text for all of them. We want only text now. So now I will now do I'll now have a floating group here now. Floating group. I want a floating group here. So in this my floating group, I'm going to give it a color. I'm going to give it a color, maybe this color. This looks nice. Let's give it this color. And then now that we want our option sets here as the dashboard menus, who can tell me how we are going to achieve that? How will we put it in? Who can tell me? Who has an idea of how do you think we can do that? If you have any idea, please let us know. If I want to put all my option sets here now, how will I do it without typing it one by one? Who has an idea?
We input it dynamically.
How will we input it dynamically? We want everything to show at once. So, like I'm just going to write it once and everything will show at once.
I think we're using a repeating group.
Very, very, very good, Judith. We're going to use a repeating group. So
we can use a repeating group or the floating group.
Of course. That's what we use for our CRM now. So don't worry, you guys are going to this thing is really fun. You guys are going to enjoy it. So I will now say here that now type of content is going to be dashboard menus this time around, right? Because we want to reference our dashboard menus. So our type of content will be dashboard menus. And remember, what will our data source be? Who can remind me what our data source is going to be? Is it going to be do a search for dashboard menus?
All dashboard menus.
What will it be?
All
dashboard menu will be there already. So there's not like doing a search
it's
for.
all dashboard menus.
All dashboard menus.
It will show all. For option set, use all when you are doing a repeating group or you are putting it inside a group. It's all, not do a search for, but all. There will be all in front. That question is inside the exam, if you notice. So you have all dashboard menus, right? So I think we're done with everything we want to put here. Then we now put a text here now, right? Remember, we want the text, right? We want the text for all our dashboard menus to show. How many did we have? I think we had 4, have we? I think we had 4.
Yes, 4.
Yeah, good. So, and this is 4 lines here, so that should be enough for us. So let's make it white now. So we're not saying we're going to insert dynamic data here. We say current cell dashboard menus. What will it be? Who can tell me?
Display.
Display. Very good. So it's going to be current cells dashboard menus display. And if we preview now, look at it. We have all our dashboard menus here now. You see that we didn't have to write it one by one. We didn't have to create any other thing that I do for dashboard. Anything I do for this one now, we happen to this one. We happen to this one. We happen to this one. So now let's try to style this one now. Let's put it in let's say, okay, let's just leave this one like this. We'll style it with params. We're going to style it with params. Does everybody understand how we got to this part now?
Yes.
It's fairly
yes,
easy.
I understand.
Yeah, you understand how we got to this part. So now that we've got to this part, now you now be thinking, okay, now how if you do this one now, right? If you have a repeating group here, then how do you now work with parameters? Normally if it's a text here, you click this text and you say the parameters should be something that now has this text inside, right? Then if you click this, it will be a parameter, maybe tab equals to then profile, right? And settings, you do a parameter tabs equals to settings. Logout will be tab equals to logout for the parameters. So this is the fun part now. We're getting to it now. We now want to set parameters for this option set. And you know that in a repeating group, you can only set like one thing for everything because you can't click on this and set on this now. You can't click on this and set on this. You can only click on this, right? That means whatever you do for this one will happen to all of them. But then you begin to question yourself that if it happens to this one, that means if I set parameter for this one now, that means it's the same parameter that will happen here and here and here now. So that might be confusing, but let's go ahead and do it. So we're now saying start or edit workflow. We now say, let me just delete this one. So if that's the text is text current cell dashboard menu, right? If it is now clicked, what we now want to do is navigate, right? Go to page, still the same page. We all know how to use parameters. Index page, right? Then we now say send more parameters to page. Now add parameters. We're going to call the key for our parameter. We're going to call it tab, right? Let's just call it tab. This key will be static, but then these are parameters. Now instead of me to say tab equals to activities or tab equals to whatever, I'm going to make it dynamic. Now watch me. I'll now click this, and I'll say I want this to be current cell dashboard menus display. So that's what I want. Because if you go here, right, this is a display for one. That means this is another display for one. That means this is another display for one. That means this is another display for one. That means any one that I click now, the display of this one should send as a parameter. If I click this one, the display of this one should send as a parameter. If I click this one, the text, right? The display is a text. The text of this one should send as a parameter. If I click on this one, the text of this one should send as a parameter. That's what I want to do. You know, normally you would have set for everyone individually 1, 1, 1, 1, but this time we are saving a lot of time. So we just hit preview. Now, if I click on activities, look at this place now. Our tab is now equals to activities, right? If I click on profile, our tab equals to profile now, right?
This is good.
I swear it's sweet die. If I click on settings, our tab equals to settings, right? If I click on logout, our tab equals to settings. That means I don't have to set for everyone individual. I don't have to waste my time and be setting for this and set for this and set for this and set for this. So I'm setting it all at once. So if you don't understand to this point, please tell us so that I can go back and explain why that is. So if you have a question, please. I can't hear you, please.
Can you please go back
to what? That parameters, right? So
yes.
We know that this thing now is current cell dashboard menus, right? This is current cells dashboard menus, right? So it's current cell dashboard menus display. But if you check here, that means it's activities, it's profile, it's settings, it's logout, right? That means all the things that are in our option set are in this place now. So that means if we say we want it to be current cell dashboard menus, that means we want it to be either any of this. So this one, let's just know that this one right now is dashboard, Abby. If we preview it, it will be activities. If we preview this, it will be profile. If we preview this, it's going to be settings. If we preview this, it's going to be logout. Now, we now said when I click on any of these, because it's a repeating group, if I click on this, that means I'm clicking on, I'm doing the workflow for all of them. So if I click on any of these now, right, I don't want it to be just one. Because if I now say that I want my tab to be maybe activities now, or whatever, if I want my tab to be activities, right? If I want my tab to be like activities now, right? If I say data to send now, if I go back here, if I click on activities, it will send activities. If I click on profile, it will send activities. If I click on settings, it's still the same. If I click on logout, it's still the same. But we want to make it dynamic. So that's what we did. Now said, because we already have what is inside our repeating group, right? Now say what is inside our repeating group, it's current cells dashboard menu, right? The text, which is the display. That means any one I click on, that means if I click on activities, it should take me to activities. The parameter activities should send. If I click on settings, the parameter of settings should send. If I click on this, the parameter should be. If I click on this, the parameter should go that way. So that is just what we did. I hope you understand now.
Yes.
Yeah, good, 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 good. So now, as we are going, it gets more interesting as we are going. So let's get even more interesting. Now, see this, in dashboard now, once you click on this now, we want something to show. We want it to show that this is clicked now. If I click on this, we want something to show that this is clicked. If I click on this, we want it to show that this is clicked. So we can even go further. And I'll now say that I'll now set a condition for this one. If I set a condition for one, I'm setting a condition for all, right? So I'll now set a condition that when get data from page URL, right, is a parameter. What is the parameter name? Tab, right? Then the type. Remember, the type of our parameter now is not a text. It was an option set. What was the name of the option set? The name of the option set was dashboard menus, Abi. That was the type, right? If that type now is now, we can say activities, logout, profile, settings, but we want to set for all. If it is now current cell dashboard menus, that means we are doing for all now. So that means if it's activities, it should work for activities. If it's this, it should work for this. If it's this, it should work for this. If it's this, it should work for this. So I'm going to now set a property. And I'll say background style of the text now should be flat color. Then background color of the text should now turn, let's turn it red. The text should now turn red. So I'm going to preview now. You see now, that means once I click on this, I have red showing here. I have the background as red. If I click on this, I have this. If I click on this, I have this. If I click on this, I have this. So, do you guys understand how I did that now? Does anyone have any question about that?
Can you just go back?
So
let me go back.
So I'm going to let me remove the condition now and set it again. So we know that this is activities, right? This is every. Please come again. Okay, coming again. So we know that this activities, this is this, this is this. You know that once I reference current cell dashboard menus display, that means I'm referencing all, right? That means I want when it happens to any of them, if this happens to any of them, that means if this happens to activities, it should turn to activities. If this happens to dashboard logout, it should turn the logout background to red. So that's just what I want to do. But how do I do it? I will now say when current get data from page URL, like we do for our parameters now. Easy. We now say tab, right? We now go to, it's not a text now. Our parameter type was not a text, if you remember. We used a dynamic type. We used a dynamic type, which was the option set that we used. And the name of the option set that we used was dashboard menus now. If you remember, it was dashboard menus, right? Now, I'm now saying if get data tab from page URL now, right, is, you see here that it's showing me everything in my option sets now, but I will not click this. Because if I click this, that means this condition should only happen when I click on activities. Just activities will turn red if I click this. Nothing will happen for the rest. So that's why I want to make it dynamic, so it happens for for all at the same time, so that I don't have to be doing it over and over and over again. The thing about this option set is that we are using it to save ourselves a lot of time. So I will now say instead of activities, logout, profile, settings, I'm not going to do that. I will now say current cell dashboard menus. That means anyone that I click from all of them, right? Then I will now go here now and say background style should change to flat color. And background color now should now change to red. That's the background color of the text. all texts have background colors, but they don't have a color at on a norm. So that's why I first changed it to flat color because it's normally on none. So if I now preview, right? If I preview that, so anyone that I click on now is going to the background color of that one is going to change. If I click on profile, the background color of profile is going to change. If I click on settings, the background color of settings is going to change. And if I click on logout, the background color of logout is going to change. I hope you all understand.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Judith, was that Judith?
Yes,
Do you understand now?
yes.
Okay, good.
I understood everything. Thank you.
Nice. So, as I said, it gets more interesting again. So, okay, good, Wale. Let's make it more interesting. So that's the idea. I'm going from less interesting to more interesting. So now we're going to have a group here now. Let's say we draw a group here now. So normally now your dashboard you always have a group now. So inside this group now, let me give it a margin left of like 300. Good. So this group now, I'm going to give it. Let's just make it fixed. We don't have to do much about it. I'm going to call it activity group, right? So this is the group that I want to show up when I click on activities, right? I'll remove this. I will change the color. Let's have a color for it. And I will now change the color to this gray color, right? And in this group now, I'll now set a condition for this group. Now, watch closely. Watch the condition that I want to set now. I will now say it's the same condition that I set for that text now that I'm going to send, but I'm going to now make it more focused on what it is, because this one now we're just saying when all happens it should go to this, but this time around we want just when it is activities. So you get activities is not playing with others now. Again, it's on its own now. This one just wants to play with activities. It doesn't want to play with the rest. So just for activities, right? So I will now said when get path get data from URL parameter, which is tab, right? Then this, which is dashboard menus, right? When it is now activities, so you get when the data I get is now activities. Now this element is now visible. So we give this, it's not visible on page load and collapse when needed. So that's the condition for activities. Now let's have this. Okay, let me make this this page itself. It's a column now. So this one now is activity group. Where's the other one? I think I copied the. I think there should be an activity copy now. Yeah, this is an activity copy now. So we're going to call this. Well, who can remind me the next one? What's the next one called again?
Settings.
It's settings, right? Thank you. Settings, right? We're going to give this another color. Let settings have this color.
Next one is profile.
Huh? Next one is profile.
Profile, yes.
Oh, yeah, it's profile. So let's call this profile. Doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be like that, as long as you set your conditions right. So the next one is profile. Now you know that we said if it's activities, now we're going to change this one now to profile, right? If it is profile, this element is visible and it's not visible on pages. It adds all the conditions of this one. That's why I was just copying it. So this one again, I'm going to copy it again. When I copy it again, it will now be, we have profile copy here now. So we're going to call this settings, right? Change the color. Change the color to this color, right? Then change this to settings. Then for the last one, we're going to do this again. That's settings copy. We're going to change the color to, have we used red? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So we're now going to change, this is logout, right? So we're going to change this one now to logout. So now let's preview. So now if I click on activities, see that this shows, right? If I click on profile, this shows. If I click on settings, this shows. If I click on logout, this shows. I hope you understand. You see how fun and easy it is. Like I'm doing all this in little time. Something that I should be doing with like setting for this one, set for this one, set for this one, set individually for everything. I'm doing it as fast as possible. So I hope everyone understands.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
All right. Then, as I say, let's make it more interesting. Again, it gets more interesting. So now, this time around, we're going to delete all this. Right now, we all now know how to use option sets with params now. So now, how do we use option sets with states? That is what we want to do now. We want to use option sets with states this time around. So yeah, now let me delete all these. Add some states here. So remember that our days of the week that we did at first. We want to reference that one now. So first thing, we're going to create a state, right? We'll go to index. We're going to add a new custom state, right? This is our state name now. We are going to call it days. We're going to call the state days. Then state type. We are going to call it. We're going to use an option set of our days of the week that we created, right? Because now I know most of us have been using just yes or no for our state type. But our state type can be anything. It can be a text, it can be a number, it can be whatever you want, it can be an image, whatever you want it to be. So this time we are using days of the week. So if we are using days of the week, now you now think about it, that means we now have 5 separate state types, right? That means we now have 5 separate state types. That means there's a state of Monday, there's a state of Tuesday, there's a state of Wednesday, there's a state of Thursday, and state of Friday, right? So that's what we have now. So let's drop a repeating group here. So we're going to simulate a tab now, something like a tab. So we're just going to do it how we did it for params. So let's give this 300, right? And let's make it 64 here. So here now, remember, it's going to be days of the week, Abby. We want our contents to be days of the week. For this thing, we want to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday inside this thing now. We want our content to be days of the week. Then our data source will be what? All days of the week. Cool. So we now have row of 1. And we'll have column of 5. So we have 5 columns now that will contain all our days of the week. So we'll now put the text here, just like we did for that repeating group the other time. Put the text here. We'll call this current cell days of the week display. So that means all we are showing now, all we want to show in this group now is all our days of the week in this repeating group. If I preview this now, If I preview this, you see that we have our days of the week now inside here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Cool. So now we want to do the same thing that we did for params here. We want to do it, right? But this time, you know that, for example, now if you want like something to show here, for example, but you don't want to use params, you want to use states, because if I click on something, something shows here. I don't want to be navigating to page again. I just want something that will be temporary, that will not be stored. Like if I reload my page, it's set back to normal, right? This is just what I want here. Like you have a tab, like there's a category here now. For example, if you're in an e-commerce page now, there's a category. Maybe you click on furniture, it will show you furnitures. If you click on maybe chairs, it will show you chairs. If you click on this, it will show you this. So that's just what we want to do. That's what we want to simulate. So now we're going to do the same thing that we did for params for this one too. So I will now say start or edit workflow. Now when this is now clicked, right? When I click that one, I will now go to element action, right? Set state. What element did I set the state? It was on index, right? Then I had the custom states. What was the name of my custom state? The name of my custom state was days, right? Then value. What value do I want my state to set to? You know, normally, I would have chose Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday. But this time around, I want anyone I click to set the value to that same one. You get? I want the value, the text that I click. Now, if I click Monday, it should set the state to Monday. If I click Tuesday, it should set the state to Tuesday. So you get? That's just what I want to do. That's why the states now, the states and that repeating group, which is tab, they are using the same data, they are using the same option set. So now say current sales days of the week, right? That's the value that we want it to be. So when I click Monday, it should be Monday. When I click Tuesday, the state should be Tuesday. So that will happen. You know, we can't preview this because it states, it happens in the back end. But now we can now use that state now to do the same thing that we did for params here. We can now set a condition on this. Instead of when get data from page URL now, we're not going to do that. We're going to do states, right? So we're going to say when index, right? That's the name of our page. When index days is what? Current sales days of the week. That's what I want to do. So that means when the states, right, of that days is current sale days of the week. So we want to set like we did, background style for the text. I want to set it to flat color, background color. I want to set it to text. We're doing this exactly the same way we did params, but now we're setting states. What I'm setting here is that when index states, which is days, is current sales days of the week. That means if it's either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I said if I click on this, it should change that to current sales days of the week. That means if I click on Monday now, it will set the state to Monday, right? If I click on this, it will set the state to Tuesday. If I click on this, the state sets to Wednesday. So, and I say when that state is now this person's, is now this one, because if you click this one, it will set to that state. It's now this one now. This should happen. And the thing that you can set with states now is default value. You can set a default value for states. You can set the default value that at first though, I want my state to be on Monday. So you get, I want Monday to be chosen at first. That is what I want. So if I preview this now, you see that Monday will be checked normally. You see that Monday is checked now, right? But if I click this, it will set to Tuesday. If I click this, it will set to Wednesday. If I click this, it will set to Thursday. If I click this, it will set to Friday. So I'm just doing what I did with params now with states. And you know that I can now do the same thing here now for this thing to show when that state is current sales days of the week, right? When this I can now say this image, this group now should now show when that state is on Monday, or it should show when that state is on Tuesday, or another one should show when that state is on Wednesday. Just the same way I did param, but I'm doing it different way. That one is get part, this one is index state. So do we understand that one now?
Ayo, that's
Yes.
good, but please, there's a question I have.
Okay.
Is it that we can either use params or custom states when you want to achieve something like what you just did?
The thing is, this you will notice that these things are different, right? We are for this place now. We're in a dashboard. We are in a it's called an SPA, which is a single page app. We are trying to do a single page app, like something that has a dashboard, right? So it's a single page app, but we still want our page to have different parameters, and we want them, right? Notice, check this thing now. I'm going to show you the difference between state and params now. If I reload this now, if I reload this, you see that this changes back to Monday. But if I click this now, and I click this, and I reload this, you see that this is still on profile, but this one has changed back to Monday. So you're getting me? This params now retains what the user was doing, but in state is temporary, right? If that page is reloaded, that thing goes back. We use state for something like you're just browsing through stuff like item category, like we have under this place now, we have other stuff under here that you just want to show when you click on this, but it's not a page that you want to go to. So you get, this one is like you want to go to a page, you're simulating a page
Okay.
now. But this one is just like items under that you want to show when this one works. So you get, so that's just what we want to do. That's just difference. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I want to understand that default value.
I can't hear you, please.
So the default value.
Okay, the default
So
value.
when you set the default value,
that default value, what it just means is that default value means when the page is loaded, right? When the page is loaded, this state should be on. So you get.
It should go back to, it should reset to Monday.
Yeah, it should be on Monday. Like Monday is the default state. Like for example, now you have, we have like 3 things here, and I want it to be set at the first one.
Yes.
When you load that page, so that you can now change to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. So you get. That's just what the default value does.
But as soon as you select Thursday, and then you reload the page to go back to the default value Monday.
Yeah, to go back to Monday. But if I select none, if it's none now, if this page is reloaded now, right, nothing will be there. It will now be until I click this that workflow will now happen. It will now set that state. But because we have a default value, it's setting the state from page load. So you get. So that's just what we're doing. So I think we're actually done with option sets. But from this now, you guys can, it just now depends on your imagination. Whatever you think you can use it to do, you cannot do it. For example, now in our CRM app, we used states to tell time. Imagine we used it to tell time. What I mean is that, when you get to that CRM now, it will tell you, good morning, Ayomide. So you get. But if it's afternoon, it will tell you, good afternoon, Ayomide. If it's evening, it will tell you, good evening, Ayomide. So we use state for that one. It's just your imagination. Just imagine what you think you can do. You just have to understand the fundamentals. Once you understand the fundamentals, like you can do a lot of stuff with states and params and option sets, and it will make your work like 10 times faster, even more than that. So I think that's it for option sets. I hope you all understand option sets now.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. So now let's start the exams. Yeah, I think I have them somewhere. So first thing, please note that I actually did not score 50 over 50 in the exam. Me, once I scored, I had my first one, I had 37. Then I did it again, I had 40. Then I did it again, I had 41. I almost cried like, God, why are thou forsaking me? But then when I now the next time I did it, I now had 42. And me, I did not continue from that place again. I did not even check again because I was tired of doing the test. So
when I had the two, I just dropped the laptop.
yeah, I don't drop out like that. So I know that I can score 42 now. So I can teach you guys how to score 42 now. But you guys can now juxtapose your answers. If you have some answers that you think, okay, I think this is correct, I know this is correct, right? And you now juxtapose them with my answers that made me score 42. Then maybe you guys can now go ahead to score 50-50 or whatever you want to score. So I just had to make that disclaimer. So I might have some answers that might be wrong. Or if you think you know the answer and I'm getting it wrong, please, you can tell me from here. So these options now, these screenshots I have are from when I was just trying to pick different answers so that I can do some permutations and combinations to get 42. So some answers might not be correct. So I will tell you what the correct answer is. But it's not what it's mostly on the option. So this is the first question. It said, how does Bubble uniquely identify things, entries or row in a data type? So normally, if we go here, if we go to data, right? Maybe I think we had some data now. This entry now, if you check now, it has a unique ID, right? Which is different from this one. The unique ID of this one is different from this one. So that is what Bubble uses to identify stuff. So, sorry. So the answer now is 32 digits unique ID. That's the answer for that. Please, as I'm continuing, if you have a question.
Hey, I thought it was slug.
No, it was not slug. You set a slug. You're the one that will set your slug for any particular data field you have. It's unique ID. It's unique to everything that was created in the database.
This is confusing.
I scored this one, but I still had 29 in this exam this morning. I couldn't cry.
I didn't find it. I got 35. The thing is really confusing.
It's not complicated.
The
It's just that.
areas that had issues were the option set and the custom state questions.
Okay. I think now if we get to all those ones now, I think it will be easier for you guys now. So this one.
Then this question in
this
particular.
This question is very. It's somehow. This question I have two answers for it. The one that I think that is most correct now. When I chose that one, I got 41. And when I chose another one that I think okay it might be correct too, and I got 42. So that is why I decided that is the answer. It might not be the answer, but so just bear with me. But I will explain now. They said an app has two data types, right? One called shopping list and another called shopping items. We want to add a list of shopping items to our shopping list, right? How do we do this? So let's go to Bubble. I think it will be better if we are trying to do them. So if you go to data types now, right? We have a data type of shopping list, right? Create that. We have another data type of shopping items. So what they're doing now is that they want to nest data. Remember how we nested our option sets inside the data? We want to nest another data as a data field inside the data type. It's also possible. So you get. We also did, I think we did that inside our CRM. So if anybody is in Group C, Team C, yeah, they will know. I think I explained that for the people in Team C. So what they want to do here now is they said, where is it? Where is that question? Let me drag it here. So the app has two data types, one called shopping list, another called shopping items. We want to add a list of shopping items, right, to our shopping list. How do we do this? So now we have shopping items, right? We have shopping list. We now want to add a list of these shopping items to our shopping list, right? What we'll do now is we can now create a new one here. We can call it whatever we want. We can call it items now, right? We now say the field type now, we can go down. We now see shopping items, right? Normally, because we want to add a list of shopping items, not just one, it should be list now. We have items, shopping items. This field is a list. So that should actually be the correct answer for this. And it's here, I think. Come on, where are you? And it's here. So this is it. This is the answer. This is actually the answer. But I chose this, but I don't know. You guys might choose this, but you guys can just follow. You guys can just follow
along,
me.
I've been choosing item and text.
Yeah, it's not text. They were nesting data. So
It was receiving items and text.
it's not text. They were nesting data. They wanted to add a list of that shopping items inside. So you guys know now that we can nest a data type as a data field. So that's what they did. So
Can you please go back and do what you did again?
okay.
Please.
So we have two data types, right? Shopping list. Great. Shopping item. What this recording we are doing will be like 50 gigs today.
I hope we're able to access it because now I have to pay pencil fast.
Shopping list and yeah, we're still recording. And shopping items. Now they said they wanted to add what? If we go back, I think it was here. Yeah. They wanted to add a list of shopping items to our shopping list, right? So we have two shopping items and shopping list. Both are data on their own. They are both data on their own. Now we want to add a list of these shopping items now inside of this shopping list. So we're now going to shopping list now, right? We now create a new field. You can now call it items, right? These items now, the field type now will now be shopping items, and it's going to be a list. So you get. So that's just what they want you to do. You want to add a list of shopping items inside shopping list. You see that it says list of shopping items, right? Inside shopping list. But when I did that, I got 41. So, but I didn't try it again, sha. So you guys can just follow me to get 42. You can just follow me and choose this. They didn't use as a list. They just nested it inside each other. So you get. So this was what I now picked, and I got 42. But this is actually the correct answer, and it might be the correct answer, and my permutations and combinations just made me miss another question. Maybe that was why I now scored 41. I don't know, but I want you guys to understand it. That's why I explained this. But this was what I chose, and you can choose this and follow everything I chose now and get your own 42 and move on. So you get. But this is
Thank you.
Yeah. So the next one is, which of these is a built-in field for all data types? So who can?
I chose user.
User.
No, it's modified date.
It's actually modified
Open the data
dates.
type. That's the first thing you see.
If you go to app data, right? If you go to app data, now we have, let's say we have users now, even users. Okay, I think we have one user here. Good. So if we go here now, you see that it has created dates. It has modified dates, right? And it has unique ID, right? Now you now check everything that it has now. You now check it here. Which one? It's
Which
modified
of
date.
this is a
Built-in field
built-in field
for
for all
all
data
data
types?
types. Once there's a data type, it will have a modified date. It will have a created date too. So you get. But we only have modified
Okay.
date here, so the answer is modified date.
Do you know what I thought that question meant?
What?
I actually thought it meant that that under the
Okay, because
under the
a
data
built-in
we have
user is a data type. It's a built-in data type, but it's not
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
built-in.
That
It's
was
not.
what
It's
I
not a
thought too.
field for all data types.
Okay.
It's just a built-in data
Okay.
type. So you get.
Okay. Thank you
So
very much.
you're welcome. So what is the primary field in data app data tab used for? I'm sure most of us have not even used this before. We don't even understand what it means, right? So this one now, if you go here, I have shopping items, right? Now let me show you something. If I go to data now, inside this my shopping items, right? Now create now create shopping name. I say this is a text, right? And I create shopping number, and I'll say this is a number, right? So now you know that I've nested these shopping items into shopping list, abi? So if I now go to data, app data, you see that I now see items here inside shopping list. And this item now, because inside items, I have two different things. I have shopping name and shopping number. So inside items here, it should show me something. I want the one that it will now show me, like what will be the default field that will show in this data here. So you get. That's just what I want. And I will now go here now and I'll say shopping items. You see, it's the unique ID that it will be showing normally. But I don't want it to show the unique ID. I want it to just show me the shopping name. So you get. So anytime I add an item now inside this place, it's the shopping name that it will show me. So if you check here now, you see that it determines the way the data is displayed. That's just what it does. It is just for display only. And if you check here to if you click on primary fields, right, it will tell you can pick the field that should be used to display or search for things of a custom type. So it's just for display only. That's what it does. I hope you all understand. Okay. Next question. What type of container we use for a header if you wanted to stay at the top? That one is a floating group.
Yeah.
Then which container can hold multiple data type things? I don't know what I was doing here. Maybe I was drunk.
It was repeating group.
Yeah, it's repeating group. It's actually repeating group. Yeah, I think this was when I was doing my permutations and stuff. So the answer is repeating group for this. Then this one is a simple question now. But then you might think that because when you now start scoring 41, you now think that is this a trick question? This is too simple to be a question now. Like 2 inside is 1 now. Then you now be doubting yourself, but it's actually still 1. You're mad. So it's still actually 1. Then now we want to show a list of all the user in the user data type. What data source will we use? This one is simple now. It's just repeating group, and we have data. We are going to do a search for users, right?
Yeah.
So next one says, what workflow action do you use to pass data to a group? Right? The thing is, if something is here now, if I have this group now, right? If I have a group here, right? And this group now, let me give this 300, right? This group now has a text inside. So you get. So now I want this text now to have let's say if I click this now, if I now click this, I want a workflow to happen, right? I want to send that data to that group now. So you get. So if I want to pass the data to this group now, what I'm going to do is, for example, now I'm going to still give this group now. I'm going to give it what was this one? Dashboard menus, I think. I want to give it dashboard menus. Everyone understand what I'm doing now. So I want to pass data inside this group. So if I go back to workflow, so and then if I want to pass data to a group, what I will now use is element action, right? I'll now say where is it? Display data. Then it will ask you what data do you want to display. So I will now say what's the name? The data I want to display should be okay. Let's say I want to display Mondays. I want to display Monday now. Okay, no, sorry. The element that I want to display data to, is that group now. What's the name of that group? This group. So this is group dashboard menus, right? So I'll now go back now to my workflow. I'll now say you should display to group dashboard menus, right? Data that you want to display, right, is now current cell dashboard menus. So you get. So this data now, you can now say you should have that parents group, right? You can now have a dashboard menus display, but that will not happen until you click on this, and that's I've forgotten how to make this text now. I want it to show what will be like the result of this one once I click. Yeah, I've used it before, but I've actually forgotten. So I've forgotten. But the thing is just like it's display data. When you want to display, that's the answer. Like you want to pass data to a group. Maybe that group does not have a data or does not have a data source.
The one before this one. Sorry.
The one before this?
I didn't get that one.
This one?
Yes.
This is just
yes,
our normal repeating
yes.
group now. Type of content user. Data sources, do a search for users now. So you get?
User. Okay. Oh, yeah.
So this one is element actions, display data. If you want to pass data to a group that does not have a data source or whatever. So you get? So that's that for that. The next one. Now this one is very, very annoying. It says a text element has multiple conditionals. That means there are multiple conditionals there now. We have condition A, right? We have condition B. That's 1 and 2. What they use? I think they use 1 and 2. Good. So which conditional will be met when the text element is overed, right? So we know that this one can never be met, right? Because we said when the text isn't overed. So this one can never be met when it is overed and the user is logged in, right? So once the user is logged in, the font size, right, will be 14. So this one, if you over it, right, that means this one will still be met whether you like it or not because the user is logged in.
Yeah.
So you get. So the answer is actually condition 2. So that's
I always pick one. I pick both conditions.
I thought it is neither conditions.
No, it's not neither conditions because now
because it was
this
neither
one,
conditions I kept picking.
Yeah, this current user is logged in, right? Font size goes to 14. It will always be met whether you over or you don't over.
Yeah.
You understand? So they're not asking you which condition will be met because that one is always met now. That means this will happen now whether you like it or not, whether you over or you don't over. So it's going to be condition 2.
I get you now.
I can't hear you, boss.
Part that has on that display, you see that piece that has off.
Yeah. We're going to get to that. Don't worry. We're going to get to that. There's a question like that question. Is there? We're going to get. So this one it says what order are conditions executed in? So what did you guys pick?
I chose
What
random.
others are condition?
Yeah,
I picked top to bottom.
Top to
Top
bottom.
to bottom.
Yeah.
Random order.
The answer is
I think
actually.
it depends.
Well, I think it depends.
Depends if it's true or not. That's what I think.
So when I first when I did it at first, I picked depends if the when is true or not, right? But the answer is actually top to bottom, and I'll explain why. That this one too is right. This depends too is right, but this one tops it. You see why now? Because if I go here now and I have let's say this group now, and I have a condition that when this one happens, and I have a condition and I have another condition. So you get. So the when here now will work if the when is like if the when is true, it will work, abi? Imagine now if all the whens now are now true, what will now happen? How will you now go? Shall you get? So this time around, we are imagining that all the whens are true. You have to imagine that all the whens are true. So in this one now, it says it depends if the when is true or not. What if all the whens are true? How will you now do it?
Top to bottom.
You now see that we have something here that is move up, move down. There's a reason why we have it, so that it will be the one that you have at first. So you get. That's why this move up and move down is there. So that means this one will happen first before this one happens, before this one happens. So that's how bubble does their conditionals. It's actually top to bottom. Then if the when is now not true, it doesn't matter, but it's still going to be top to bottom. It will first check this one, even if the when is true, it will first check if this when is true. If this when is true, it contradicts this one, this one will not happen, right? So you get. So it's top to bottom. That's why we have move up and move down here, so that it will give us an hierarchy of conditions. So let's move to the next one. Okay, I think we're done with that line. So name 3 types of conditionals. What do you guys pick?
This one is event, action, element. Because every other thing.
Yeah, it's events, action, and
They
elements.
do not follow each other.
Yeah.
The rest of the things they do not follow each other.
Yeah, event, action, and elements. Then the when on condition must resolve to a what?
Element property.
The answer is actually elements property, because when you say a when, right? When, if you click when now, you see is it this group? Is it current user? Is it do a search for? That's all these are elements, Abi. We are not talking about their property. If you click this group, you can't just say this group. What property of this group do you want? Is it the width?
Oh.
You understand? So that's what they mean by it should be it must resolve to an element property, because when something happens, so you get, when something happens to an element, that's when your will happen. Then the next one, this one, I'm sure almost everybody missed this one.
When does the
What did you guys pick?
I chose it on the condition.
I actually guessed it too. It was the guess answer.
Okay.
And the guess answer was on and off mode.
Okay.
I mean,
I like that artificially puts the elements in space.
So let me tell you guys the answer. Somebody just said the answer now. The answer is it artificially puts the elements in that state for editing purposes. And I will show you why.
Really? Oh yeah, let's see the
Let's see. Let's set this group now, right? We're going to set a condition for this group now. We'll now say when this group is overed, this group is overed, right? It should turn blue, right? You say background style, flat color, background color it should turn blue, right? That means when it's over, it should turn blue. Now, if we want to check this over now, we have to go to preview, right? You have to preview it first. You have to go to preview. for the group. The group is somewhere. Yeah, it's here now. You see that when it's over, it turns blue, Abby. Right? But now, if I click on here, it will turn blue.
Are you
So you
kidding
get,
me?
it will show you what will happen when that condition is met. That is what it does. It's not turning it
So
on
that
or
means
off.
we can preview on the
Yeah.
bubble editing. Oh God!
So
Without
without even going
Try it
to,
before I teach that.
oh God!
so you can turn it on or off. Yeah, you can check it. Okay, looks good. Then you can turn it back off and continue with your work. So that's what it does. So the answer is artificially puts the element in that state for editing purpose. You can see that meanwhile it turns the condition on or off in the first place. So I had to do research to get that one. Now, a custom state is what type of store of data? What did you guys choose?
Custom state.
Temporary, right?
Yeah.
You guys chose temporary.
I choose
In
temporary.
this custom state, I was confused.
Okay.
Because wait. Let me quickly ask. Custom state and state is the same thing.
Yeah,
Abi?
it is.
Okay.
So now, let me show you. Look at these elements, right? Where are we storing our custom states?
On the page.
On the
Index.
page.
We started with the page. The
Index, right?
page.
And
Yeah.
this custom, you see custom state now, it's inside index, and it will always be on this index, whether you like it or not. It is permanently stored on this index elements. You guys get it now? So if you now go back to the options now, it is what? Permanently attached to an element. It's not temporary. They ask what type of store of data that, how do you store it? That's what they are asking.
Okay.
So it is permanently attached to an element.
Okay.
So that's it. Then the next question is still the same thing. Custom states are attached to what? Elements. So you get.
I went to go and pick.
Yeah.
I went to go and pick CSS of the page.
Don't say
I
so.
choose elements.
It's elements. So now,
Because of a page I saw beside the CSS.
yeah. So when our page loads, I think we did this when we were doing when we were doing states, Abby. When our page loads, what will be the custom state view value? So who can tell me? It's dashboard now.
Empty.
Yeah, you know that we did this the other time, right?
Yeah.
So when our page
That's
loads,
why I asked you because
it's always going to be dashboard. Now, what
Are you saying
action?
that the answer is dashboard?
Yeah, the answer is dashboard. It's default
Honestly,
value.
I don't get how.
Actually, I was
I
thinking
don't
that.
get it, honestly.
You don't get it?
I really don't get
Yes,
it.
please
honestly.
explain.
Okay.
I don't understand.
Like I said now, you know that if we go here now, our see what we have now. You see that it's on Monday when anytime the page loads, right? You know that we set our custom states now for this thing to be days of the week, right? And if I remove this now, that means this custom state now will now depend on me to activate it. So if I reload this now, you see that I don't have anything. That means the custom state is not working yet, right? And I add a workflow. And I add a workflow to turn it on here, right? I had a workflow to turn it on here. I said when this is clicked, it should set the value to current sales days of the week, right? So that means it will now wait for me to click any one of these before it turns it on. And when I reload back, it's going to go back to dormant. But when we now set a default value for it, that means I want this custom state to be on Monday. I can say Friday now. I want it to be on Friday when the page loads. That's just default value. That okay, whenever the page loads, it will just be on Friday straight. I want this state to be on Friday. So you get. And you know that normally we would have to click on Friday before that option state set to Friday. But now we are, by giving it a default value, that means we are setting it to Friday on page load. So that's what default does. So if I now reload this now, you see that our Friday will show now. You see that it's on Friday by itself. So that's just what that default value means. I hope you all understand.
Yes, so
Yeah. So what action do we use to give a state a value via a workflow? That one is set state now. Yeah.
test it.
Confirm. Now, this one, which of this is true about option sets? You know, I told you guys that option
This
set
question
is,
got me confused.
yeah, I said option set is static data that you can't even change again. You can't change it from the front end. You can't change it from anywhere. If you want to change it, that means you have to go to data from the bubble editor to go and change it, to add to it or delete from it, right? So now they're asking that, can it be updated via a workflow? It can't. You can't add to the option. You can't say now, like, when this is clicked, make changes to a thing or add a new thing. You can't say that. That one is for data. Option sets can't be updated. That's true. They can't really be updated. It's true. But this one, they can be updated via the bubble editor. That means I can go now inside the editor, right, and update them inside here now. That means I can go here. This is the editor, right? So I can go here now. You see that we are still in bubble editor here. If you check here now, I can go to data. I can now go to option set. I can now modify it. I can update it. I can delete it. I can do whatever I want. So you get. So that is the answer. Option set can be updated via the bubble editor. It cannot be updated via a bubble API. So you get. It can only be updated via the bubble editor. So I hope you all understand that.
Yes.
So all option sets have a display attribute. Is that true or false? True. Remember now, we have used display. Don't tire ourselves. So now this one, an option set can have a type of another data type. You know that we can nest option sets inside data type, right? But now they are now asking us that, can you nest a data type inside an option set? So that's the question they are now asking us. So we'll now go to Bob.
But what I learned from you today is true.
I think you did that.
We'll see. So normally, you see that we have inside data, right? And remember that we have two option sets, right? We have dashboard menus and days of the weeks, right? I can create a new one now. Inside data now, I can say dash, and I can give this. If I check this now, I will see all my option sets and all my data itself. That means I can nest data inside data. I can nest option sets inside data too, right? But then we are now talking about option sets. If you now go to option sets now, if I now say create a new attribute for this option set now, right? And I now go to type. You see that I can see option sets. I can see options, but I cannot see data type. It's not possible to nest a data type inside an option set, but you can nest an option set inside a data type. So now I have data types, right? Inside data types, I can create a new field. I'll call it whatever, and inside there now I can see all my data types and all my option sets, right? That I can add to it, that I can nest into it. So you get. And the reason why we cannot add it, because I told you that option sets now, they are not dynamic data. They are static data that will just be there. But you know that if we nest data type into it, our data type is dynamic. It's going to be getting data. It's going to be changing. So that cannot work for our option set. So you get. So here now I can add option set to a data type. But if I now go to option set now, I want an attribute now of a data type. It's not possible. I can have an attribute of another option set because I know that it is static, right? But I cannot have a data type as an attribute type for an option set. So you get, that's the difference between option set and data. You can nest option sets into data, but you cannot nest a data type into an option set. I hope you understand now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the answer is false.
Okay.
So we have a repeating group and we want to show a list of option sets. Now, I want us to remember the difference between option set and data type inside repeating group. You know, we said inside option set we use do a search for, right?
Yeah.
But inside repeating group, what do we use?
We use do a search for or repeating group.
Inside for option set, if you are going to use option set as our data, if you want to do data source, what will we click? What will we put there?
Use all.
Yeah.
All,
If you all remember, we use all. That means,
you said this several times.
yeah, all types of that option sets. That's what we want here. So see that once you understand the basic of option sets, it will be easy for you to pass these questions about option sets. So now this one is it's about attributes now. Say that's why I used weekdays, days of the week for that option set that we created so that we can test this thing out now. So now first thing first, there was something I needed to add to option set. You know, inside here now, if we want for our repeating group, if we want data source, we say all dashboard menus, abi? Because this repeating group now can take a data source, a group can take a data source. But you know that a text cannot take a data source. If I have a text now, right? And let me just give it a color so that we can see it there. If I have this one now, and let's say it is red, can you all see it here?
Yeah.
And I want to give it a value from my option set. Maybe I want to give it a value of Monday, abi? I want this text that I have here to be Monday, but I want to get it from my option set. So you know that this text now, there's nowhere to say data source, option set, or whatever. So you get. So I'll now say inside dynamic data, if it was data I want, if it was for my data field, I would say do a search for. So you get. But if it's an option set, you can't say all option sets now because you have to choose the option set that you want in the first place. So you get. So you now say get an option. That's what you say. You say get an option. Then we now put option set here. This will show you all your option sets. And I'll say days of the week, right? What do I want to put here? I want to put Monday here, right? So option, I can now give all options, right? But it's just one text now. It can't be all options. We want just one here. I want Monday. Then Monday, if you now ask what do you want from Monday? What do we want? In order to have Monday here, what will we want? Who can remember? We want the text of Monday. What will we put here? Display. Yeah, we want the text now. You guys have forgotten. So it's going to be Monday's display. So you get, that's what we want. That's because we want the text. But this time around, for this question now, look at this question. This question is now saying we have an option set called OS weekdays. Let's just say it's our option set called days of the week, are we? Then remember that we have an attribute of day number. Do you remember?
Yeah.
The day number was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, abi? So
Yeah.
how would we show the day number of Monday? If we go back to our option set now, if we go back to data, and I'll go back to option sets. Remember that days of the week. Remember that I gave this Monday now a day number of what? 1, right?
1.
But we want to get its day number now. So we want to get it inside this text. So you get. What we'll now do is we'll now say insert dynamic data, abi, get an option.
Yeah.
Option set, abi, days of the week.
Yeah.
Then what options do I want? Monday, abi. And I'll click Monday. This time I don't want the display of Monday. I want the day number of Monday. So what is this now? What do I have here? What we'll show here is Monday's what? Day number.
Day number.
So if you now go back to our question, see now, How would we show the day number of Monday in the text elements? So what's the answer now? Monday's day number. I hope you guys understand now.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any question about that? Okay. Let's continue. We have a button that wants to navigate user to another internal page when clicked. So this one is simple. It's navigation go to page. Then we want to navigate our users to another internal page, but open it in a new browser. Which element should we use? What did you guys pick?
This one.
I think I picked text element with the workflow.
Okay.
I picked link elements.
Okay. Now, I'm going to show you how. So, the answer is actually linked element, but it's not just linked element. So, this is a link, right? So, we have this link. This link is here. And we say it should be go home, right? Let's now give this link now. Let's give it this of like 300. Let's go home. Where is it? Where's it gone? Okay, I think it was inside. It was inside here. So let's bring it inside here. So the list is go home now. Why is it going back? Come here, my friend. Come here. Oh, let me go and carry it from. Let me just delete this and put it back. Let me put it inside this group now. So instead of the text, I'm going to change this to a link. So I'm going to call it go home, right? And I'm going to say this one should link destination should be index page, and it will take me to the index page. So you get. But let's just use login page. I think I have a login page somewhere. So now, if I preview this, if I click on go home, right? You see that it took me to the login page now. But did it take me in another? Did it show in another in an external tab? No. It was still the same tab. So you get. But now if you want an external tab now, you now go here. You say open in a new tab. You click this. So you get. So now if you update this now, and now click this link. See now, it opens up in a new tab. So if you want to check, so if we check again, what would our answer now be? Link elements with open in a new tab checkbox ticked.
Yeah.
So you get.
I'll join you. Are you right?
So that's our answer. You all understand now?
Yeah.
Okay. Now name two actions that can be used to navigate.
I'm really learning a lot too.
Within a page. So is it go to element? Go to an element is not possible. Then link element with our binding, no. Navigate go to page is just one thing. The answer is scroll to and set focus. So you get scroll to, that means you scroll to that place that the element is inside the page. Set focus, that means, for example, if you have an input or something, it will just enter that input from that place. So you get. So the answer is scroll to and set focus. Now this one is, I think this one is simple. We have a movie details page that has, but if you are rushing, you might be confused. So we have a movie detail page that has a type of content, movie, right? We need to navigate to this page and send it data. What action do we use? So we want to navigate to that page and send it data. So for example, now we want to navigate to another page now and send it data. So maybe let me change this back to the text. So we have a text now of go home, right? So and we want it to go to what's it called? And it has the type of content of dashboard menu. So you remember. So once you click this now and set a workflow for it. So now I want this now to go navigation, go to page. We want it to go to maybe the login or the sign up page now. Then we're not saying from here, now say we need to navigate to this page and send it data. What action will we use? So if you want to send the data, you just use data to send now. Then you now say parents group dashboard menus. Maybe you want to send the display or whatever. So you get. So if you are now checking it in this context now, we now say go to page, right? Destination equals the page that you want to go. Then data to send equals to current sales movies. Remember that job board that we did, right?
Yeah.
For example, if you have a repeating group of jobs, right? That means if you click that, you're going to go to a page that will now show you that job. And why is it showing you that job? Because you've already sent the data of current sales job. Do you all understand?
Okay.
You guys understand?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the answer. You're going to go to page. We're going to send it a data. I'm going to send current sales movies. So if you want to send a parameter to another page, what flow action will you use? This one is good to page. Send more parameters to a page.
More parameter to a page.
Plugins have 3 cost options. A lot of people are missing this. I don't know
Free
why.
subscription
Yeah, it's free
off.
subscription and one-off. Most people are just picking multi-app, free and whatever. The answer is free subscription and one-off. Because if you check plugin, you see free plugin. Then you see $8 per month. Then you will see one that is just $80. There you get. Then Bubble support custom domains, right? That's true.
Yeah.
Bubble's debug tool is enabled via what? What do you guys
Yeah, mode equals to true.
Yeah.
A bit debug.
Yeah.
Mode equals
Adding
to true.
question
This
mark.
one can be easily seen on the
If you
on
preview,
the tab.
you see it. Then where do you add your Google Geocode API key? What did you guys pick?
I didn't get this part too.
Okay, I'm going to
I
show
didn't
you.
get this
Settings
part.
general.
Yeah, settings general. If you go to settings now and you go to general, right? You see a place called Google Geocode API key.
Okay. Please, what is this key used for?
I think it's used for if your app has
App is
Google
using a
Map
map.
or is using Google Apps. If you are using Google Map, Google will give you these things as your API. So you guys, you have API key. You put
Like,
it here.
is it free?
It's not free. I think it's $5 per month or something. I forgot it.
Okay.
So you have
So
to,
that means you don't have to. You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to.
The map API.
Yeah,
It's pre-installed, like something like that.
Bubble pre-installs that one for you.
All right.
So pages can be organized in the Bubble editor via what?
I just get this one via folders.
The answer is folders,
Guess
and
what,
I'll show you.
So, but please explain.
So if you click on pages here, right? See, what's this? Pages. See, we have folders here. So you can create a new folders and organize your pages into them. So you get.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So so that in case you have a lot of pages and you want them to be organized. So that's just what that is for. Then the next one, okay, I'm done with that line. The next one is how do you enable backend workflows?
This one I went to steal it in the settings tab.
So if you just go to settings API, right? Enable workflow API and backend workflows. So that's just it. Then the next one, what plugins is required for making API calls? So that's the API connector. Which of these HTTP methods are used in API calls?
Get post and delete.
Gets posted. Does everybody understand why? Or should I explain?
Yes. That's the type of HTTP method.
Yeah. So if you
Because
don't
all those
understand,
other
please
methods
let
don't
I will explain. Everybody understands that. So let's continue. So you want to pull API into a repeating group. What will you use? You use get data from an external API.
From external API.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So the next one is, what is this called?
I didn't get this question. No.
It's
Please
called
explain.
it's called an API endpoint.
It's called endpoint.
Yeah, it's called
Yes.
it's called an API
Ow,
endpoint.
ow,
For
ow,
example, now
ow.
if you go here, right? Let's say we have an API here, right? Let me expand this. So it's the thing that you have here, that thing that they send to you, that get URL that you have, that URL.
Authentication.
Yeah, that they send to
But
you.
it's a unique authentication for the API. From,
The authentication,
We have authentication, we have authorization.
The authentication, no, this one is different. This one is when you have, for example, now you have private key in header. So you get, that's when we have authorization or whatever. But this is for the API that you're going to use itself. This one, this place is just for the main API.
Yeah, I get.
But this is for the specific you want to use. But then they will not give you an endpoint that will determine the type of API that you want to use. Let me show you guys an example. So let me go here. I think I have something here. So are you guys ready to download your 50 gig video?
I'm ready. The video must be ready. No story. Collect.
So API, I think I have one API.
50 what?
I don't know. I'm just guessing. Hopefully, maybe it's recording like 360p and we have like maybe 1 gig or something.
But the cocoa is that it should even be available. That's my own fear.
I think I will just put it on Google Drive.
On what?
Google Drive.
Okay.
So I think I have one API rubbish here.
This bubble needs practice.
Needs a lot of practice now. And when you start practicing, things become easier and easier and easier for you. So if I go to plugins here now, my laptop is getting slow. If I go to plugins now, so you see this fitness calculator, Abby. Let's use this Calendrific now for an example. So inside Calendrific now, for that calendar API, you can get the number of holidays, right? You can get the number of countries. So if I expand this, right, this is an endpoint to get to holidays. So you get.
Okay.
You see that when I want to get something else, if I want to get country, I'm still inside the same API. If I want to get something else now, if I want to get countries, you see that it's /countries here is different from that /holidays. So you get.
Okay.
So it's an endpoint for, this is an endpoint for countries. This is an endpoint for holidays. So that's why that's why it is called an API endpoint. That's just what they call it. If you just search API endpoint, you see that you see something like this. You see that it's something like this, right? That's the endpoint. It's called an endpoint.
Yeah, but what do you control? That objective the 1.1.
Huh? No, this doesn't have any meaning. This 1.1 is just the version. So you get. Maybe it's version 1.1 or version 1.2 or version 1.3. So you get. This thing doesn't have any meaning.
Okay.
This is just a dummy API. This is a dummy API.
Okay.
So you get. They're just showing you that, what do you call this? This API does not actually exist. So
Okay.
So let me close. Let me close down one so that's laptop will be faster. So let's continue. The white space around an element is known as what? That's a margin, right?
Yeah, I pick padding for this, so
Uh,
because you know when you add padding to
this the
let's say
the the padding is white space inside
eh,
of it, inside, not around it. So you
okay,
get padding is
oh,
inside,
oh,
the margin is
English,
outside. So, for example, if you want to understand very well, you can just maybe go to maybe Google or whatever. Maybe you're going to GitHub now. You go to GitHub now. I want to use Chrome to explain this to you guys. So if I inspect this, let's inspect. If I inspect this now, right? Come on. If I inspect this, I think that recording is slowing down my laptop.
Did it stop?
No, still
Okay.
working.
Because you said it was slowing down.
Yeah, it's slowing down my laptop. So if I click,
Okay.
for example, now, if I do this now and click on this, right? So you see this now. Look at this. This is the element, right? This is the element itself, right? This is the thing around it. It's called padding. This is the thing inside of it, right? This element has all this inside. Now, it's had all this space by itself, right? And this is the border of the element. So you get, let's say this has a border that is around it like this. This is the border. Then anything around it that is outside now the border is just where it stops. So you get. Now anything around it now is called the margin. Anything inside of it, any space inside of it is called the padding. Any space outside of it is called the margin. So you get.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying that. Thanks so much.
So going back to that, so that's a margin. Name 3 group layout styles. That's column, row,
this one's column,
and fixed.
row, and fixed.
If you wanted elements to be one above another, that's column, right?
Yeah.
Make this element fixed that it does what? It maintains a fixed height, even if its content or parent grows. That's it. If the content grows, the height will stay the same. If the parent grows, it doesn't concern it. It's just fixed. It doesn't care.
Okay.
So if you want a group to not take up any space when needed, it's collapse when needed. Right? Yeah. How can front-end workflows be organized? What did you guys pick here?
I didn't know this one.
The answer is colors and folders. If you go here, oh, I think I deleted my yeah. So option sets, Bubble editor. What do I have open? Okay, I have Figma. Let me quit that first, so that can give us more. Yeah. So let's go back. What were we doing? I've forgotten. Okay. Wanted to talk about workflow, folders, and colors.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we go to workflows now, see now, I can change the color for this so that I can use it. I can use this color for maybe all text element that is clicked. So you get. Maybe I'll say, okay, this one and this one, they look the same. They look like they do the same thing. I can put them all in blue, or I can put them if it's the same element, I can give them the same colors. Then I can also create folder. I can say text workflows, right? So I can create that folder, and it will be inside text workflow. So for these two, I can add it to text workflows too. So you get. So that means it's what colors and what folders.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow.
So we're done with that row. We're almost done. So if you want to reuse the same logic in more than one workflow, what type of front-end workflow would you use? What do you guys pick?
It's cut and paste, I think.
Cut and paste. Is that your final answer? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. The answer is custom workflows. So yeah.
Oh.
If you go here now, I can say I want to create. I can go here now and say I want to create a custom workflow. So this custom workflow now, if I create it, I can give it an event name, right? I can give it any event name. I can give it parameters, whatever. And I can now say this should happen. Maybe create a new, sign the user up now, right? And do this and do this. You see that I've created this custom workflow now. Now I can now use this custom workflow for whatever I want now. If I do this now, I can say when this is clicked now. I've not actually used this thing before, but when this is clicked now, so you can now say trigger a custom event. You see that event now that I created. If you remember, this is the event. It's called, I named it on rubbish. Let me call it options. So, and I'll say when this is when that group is now clicked, I want you to trigger a custom event. So all my custom events will be here now. And that custom event, I've already said what it should do, like make changes to the user, do this, turn this to this, turn this to this, but I just have it somewhere. So I will not even be doing anything again. So you get, I will just say, once I click this, carry this, do what is inside this custom event. Now, once I click this, if I want to use that workflow again, I will say click on another thing, use what is inside this custom event. I hope you guys understand. Yeah?
I don't understand though.
You don't understand? So let's do it again.
I don't understand.
Let's do it again. So let's delete this. So what was the question? The question said if you want to use the same logic, right? In more than one workflow, what type of front-end workflow would you use? And I said it's custom workflow. So let's do a logic now. You just want to do logic now. We've not started the workflow. You just want to save a logic somewhere, right? You want to save a custom logic. So we now say custom, right? We now say create a custom event. So event name, you can call it maybe make changes to user. Abi? You can give it a parameter, but that's not compulsory. You can give it a color, you can give it anything you want, right? Now we've done that now, and inside that event now we'll now set what should happen. We are now doing the logic now. When I say it should maybe go to page this index, right? Then you can say it should make change. You can do whatever we want to do. Make change to current user. Maybe the one that's can do whatever we want. You see that we've not added this to anything now. So you get, it's just there. Nothing will happen. If you click on everything on our page, nothing will happen because it's not added to an element. So we can set another thing. You can say it should refresh the page again. See, we're adding random things now. So we have that custom workflows now. So the name is make changes to user ID, but let's call it custom workflow. So we have that. You see that there's no when something is clicked. There's no this is clicked. You see that this one is different from this one now, right? Because nothing is making it happen. It's just there by itself. So we now want to. So if now we have that logic already, we want to go to page index. We want to make a change to current user and want to refresh the page. If we think that we're going to be using this thing again, right? This logic again, go to page index, make changes to user, refresh the page, right? If we're going to be using this logic again in our app, we'll just save it as custom workflow so that we'll not be doing it again and again. For instance, now I want when this one is clicked to have that same workflow, and I want when this one is clicked to also have that same workflow. Instead of me to now be doing it over and over again, I'll just save that workflow down, and I'll now say that, okay, when this is now clicked, right, I'll now say custom event, trigger a custom event. So you get, and I'll now choose the one there. Remember we call it custom workflow, abi? So that means when you now click that thing, everything in this custom workflow will now run. If I give it to another thing, that means everything in this custom workflow will run again. I hope you guys understand now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, next one. What triggers a workflow?
Event.
That's an event, right?
Event.
Event.
Cool. Now, you see
that make it run in the middle.
Yeah. It's just saying what triggers or what makes an event run, what makes a workflow run. So you get.
Okay.
So, events, right? You now see that the next question they've even given you the answer. Once a workflow has been triggered via an event, see now.
Yeah, exactly.
What is there run? What did you guys pick?
Action.
Action, Abi. Did anybody pick something different?
I don't even know. Because the first one, the previous one, I'm not sure I got the previous one.
I believe we are all correct now. We know this thing now. It's easy for us now. But I want to tell you guys that everybody, including me, all of us, we are Olodos. It's not actions. Because I chose actions too at first. Now watch. Workflow has been triggered, Abi. What will now happen? CEO, what is this called? What is up here? Step 1. Step 2. Step 3.
Oh God.
Is it that it's not?
Holy Christ! Oh my goodness!
So the answer is steps. I'm sure everybody was thinking of semantic answers. Okay, actions.
Okay, but
It's just going to be actions. So the last one now. This is the last question. Now, this one I had two answers, but it was when I picked this one now that I now got my 42. There you get. So it said if you wanted only the action in step 2 to run, what is here doesn't actually matter. You don't even need to see what is here. So you get. If you want the action in step 2 to run in your workflow for an admin user, right? How would you do this? Now you might think it's what did you guys pick?
I pick set conditional on the action.
Okay.
Make sure
current user
Is an admin, Abi? Okay. But the thing is,
Make current user an admin.
does Bubble have an admin anything called admin?
I don't
God
think so.
help us.
Do you understand? Does Bubble has anything that is called admin? You know that even if you are going to make it an admin, you're going to do it yourself, Abi?
Yeah.
And if you want to make sure that the current user is an admin, what is that called? Is it not a condition?
Yes.
So you are setting a condition on the action. But this one now depends on, even if you name it admin, say, what if I want to name it president or whatever? So you get. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
We want it to workflow for an admin user, right? So normally we'll say make sure the user is an admin. But this admin now is still a condition on the action.
Yes.
That means we are setting a condition on this action now
That's true.
to make sure the user is an admin, but it's still a conditional on the action. So that's the answer I had for that. So, and voila, this is your 42. So I'm going to stop this now. We'll check the